is finally here, and while there have been a ton of mysteries, lore drops, and more to talk about over the next couple weeks, the first thing I want to focus on is the extremely mysterious ending of the chapter, where today I'll explain the entire thing from its plot twists, reveals, and even hints for what we can expect from chapter 5 already. So as a bit of a quick breakdown, in chapter 4 we start off by exploring the caves while Poppy goes to retrieve Kissy, and later coming upon the prison, where after meeting up with our new ally Doughy the Doughman, we are introduced to the safe haven that he was the protector of, with many remaining toys after the Hour of Joy, including some that could heal Kissy's wounds, who also survived by the way and was down here with us. And afterward, we are tasked with acquiring the Omni Hand from Dr. Sawyer by going through his evil pet Yarnaby and defeating him once and for all, so we could access their private generator they needed to repair before it lost power and the prototype could come in and destroy their home. Which, after doing so, Poppy revealed to us our goal with entering the factory was to go as deep into it as possible and burn it from the bottom up. However, while placing these explosives down, we returned to the safe haven to find that while we were gone, the prototype had mysteriously broken in and stolen our explosives, destroying everything in the haven and killing every toy Doughy worked so hard to protect, causing him to snap and turn against us, which, spoiler alert, I have a ton of theories for why all this happened, so make sure to subscribe to not miss that because it is deep. But after Doughy goes completely crazy, changing his entire form and giving us a super long chase sequence and even a boss fight, we eventually defeat the Doughman once and for all, crushing him, allowing for us to search for the remaining survivors of the wreckage, where we conveniently find Poppy and Kissy safe inside of a ventilation system. However, not long after this, Poppy tries to reach out to Ollie, who is in the game by the way, he only appears a couple times, but when doing this, Ollie confidently announces our exact position,
Shelf ventilation block B6,
and reveals that this entire time he was actually in fact the prototype, mimicking the voice of the child Ollie for years.
Who is this?
An obvious question with an obvious answer.
Tricking Poppy and all of us into trusting him. Afterwards, the prototype asks Poppy to join him, causing her to completely panic and run away, leaving just us and Kissy, where the prototype then intercepts the rest of our explosives from earlier and blows up the building, leaving just the remains of Kissy's arm by our side. Then we make our way into the next and final location for all of Poppy Playtime, the labs, where our first sight upon walking in is a beautiful garden of poppies laying all across, leading us to a small room also including poppy flowers, which gives us a final VHS tape from Leith Pierre, a security brief of the area parodying the original one back in chapter 1, but this time much more sinister, telling us that we were going to be shot on sight upon entering the labs.
When someone finds you down here, you will be shot.
While he boasts about his wonderful security, right at the perfect time for a big blue furball to make his way back into the game, who attacks us through the glass, which is where the entire chapter finally ends. So now, to break all of this down, I want to break it up into two mini sections: the Poppy betrayal scene and the actual ending when we walk into the labs. And first, starting with Poppy's quote-unquote betrayal, as we mentioned, Poppy gets extremely surprised upon finding out Ollie this entire time was actually just the prototype. And when she asked if there ever was an Ollie, he said,
Yes, there was.
But that was a very long time ago.
Which is interesting because when playing through chapter 4, we actually got ourselves a tape showing a conversation between Poppy and Ollie, where Ollie calls Poppy as she's in tears and panic from the scientists digging inside of her and pulling out her body parts to try and see what made her, saying,
It's been weeks and weeks of taking things out and putting them back in and taking things out and putting them back in.
as Ollie comforts her.
I'm here, Poppy. For you, I'll always be here.
Now, was this the real Ollie or the prototype? I honestly